call bombi play. No, what Danny play no. Yet ye draw a crew from not theater. A crew from Hayao. You say a man in Cosro Cassie. Now, Cosro. Not what theater. What you say? Where you go, a man ye. It's me no.
When I go, I'm a car.
Me say, me, I'm a piece.
When a president, Mamma name, Okuye Toma, Casamo, Mamma,
Okuya to grab a semester. No one can do.
Yama Afefuina Akwaba. Yama Yahuina Happy Independence Day. Ghana at 69. In fact, Ghana Yinipa and Kasambri Okopenshina Ogusua or Chense Yankupon Beto Ninsa Edi Afreno. Na Omaino Yakoyanim Yen Fisha Porpor Edusian Kron. Yemisa Hose Sabra no Yabo. Ghana Yinipa Kawabobra a son adusian kun sa question we ene we si bisa ye ho na I know say ne event koso e wo Jubilee Park anase bibisa na answer na yenim say ensendie bebre etwagu but madika ka cho say MPP fo we mpa Ghana ye mbenya kranka Independence Day yintwam because Independence Day no aya na ye bibi na de kai Kwame Nkrumah because wa ono eno ye den o gina nimu e mo ban no etiminya ne fa hodie efiri nko asom anase abrofo no ensem abusie Yandoh aba montin so adidi nkomo bi mepese ye bekwa gotie Yandoh nsem no because nsem no sometimes say Yandoh de I don't know what is exactly wrong with him but nsem bi ayo kekaro aya no bisa ho senti this is the regional communications director the MPP a course for alarm nina kukwekwa for issues economy light bills and a whole lot of things why analysis be yanko na yanko ti sanse no na ekoba enaka ina ebeto aso mesro so document betum na why like this particular very video na wa share na foforo etmenye bi ahwe ne bibi etimi akoso wano yenti nseni bi yakoba another version of this broadcast on my beto aso
and that you should be ready to tolerate people in as much say ebia de obeka enye wo and you don't expect to say time bia no meka dia in favor what you say I'm very objective what I say, yeah. I'm very, very objective. The same time, and also so no, I'm supposed to make sure say my party are crossroad because I know what our party MPP stands for.
Yeah,
I have a reason for joining New Patriotic Party,
and you are the regional communications director,
exactly.
And you have to project your party.
That is it.
Into the you are projecting the party.
Yeah, NDC. It is a fine gentleman,
Vincent.
Kasa wokan yina. If any party who ne dear ben.
Poor just o Mike ne kaka mo aha.
On can share me. One pro-poor policy. No one NDC. I was saying so proud now. One more diaba. But me met ha. I catch several interventions. MPP for. Ediaba. That is why I'm so proud. It is out now. Na debi out here na o kasa nyina ne say ene mam kwotena chire ene mam kwotena wo betina front edie ben wetima yabo the ordinary person. Say the ordinary person crampa oni bie no o ma ne ho chire no. I can show you a video of a farmer koko kuani ni kuro ne ye dia born in 9 say tie ni onye sikampo no dia ko. These are people ye kan o masem enye o kandini ai obi a odwen oni bie ho. You say a leader, we judge a leader by how he treats the ordinary person. And the ma o ye kandini na de o mo bokra no unhwe ni ye na betra na aka se kwanutum go ya pamomo a if he say you are not being fair to the New Patriotic Party. of which I belong. Sure. President Mess Ekasembi was it do fiasem. And that I always wish he said the President Mahama obe follow or no one in the power kofa ne ba ya odi mfa so kese won so. Say me kasa out here say.
In a boss, Professor Johnny Van Samuels.
When him say Atamis wu yen. The biggest beneficiary John Mahama.
Say.
Wu yen no. Nana Jonoa 24th of July no. Nana Jonoa 2012. Nana Jonoa John Mahama was a vice president or be president.
Then the constitution no.
Nye constitution asem. Constitution na ye check constitution. Ye go hear me am here president. Ono ene di so fast wo. And that bibia ebeko so bia no it's expected say wasua bibia free no. Now no there was UN meeting bi o se bibisa. Okodru ho. US Israel ene Ukraine friend saying Iran for any chance.
Gas Israel ne Gaza for no niema na akoso no.
Wodru ho no. Na wasori free we ho akodi Iran for echi.
Oh za.
We hu. Oh one follow. What you say? Israel any Iran.
Menim so okasatia as atrocities against humanity as we are seeing any Israel
say at best and kabi because Shantokoya Ekoswa nipa kotena play more other than the plane to say there you confuse to a game bona bona other than the plane ye play helicopter call bomb play no other than the plane no ye dey draw akrofom na theater akrofom haya o ye say e mane nkosoro kese na akosoro na what yato o ti ase we ye ko e mane ye etimi no
when I Ghana go ka ameka
me chese me am a peace
when President Mahama ne okuje to man ko kasa mo ma fa mezo
okuje to kro bese da no on kana no tum what you say on kana no tum what you say mane ka bibia fufuro bia biem
de waka bia ye
because me hen to kona e koso na say nim ne ko cabinet da ne ba so won be ke KG4 kra na emekuye omu KG4
ene mekuye
ngoku we mu na we me go ham ho because 1 minute o me wie nyina so appalling. I know minya Salam that history of how Anyema isi and obeche I always love him because of educational way na but me the etwa hu nyina me ka ho asem ne say yen concentrate the amaye na yen hwe ne yenya ni yie rather than say obi ni obi asem no ya ko take sides because yen so akosa meeting ni bi
ni eti pen ni omo
na de koso wo betima ya bi wo mo ka oyela US for betimi aso stay no omo for 100 years ye de yes enya 5 weeks
according to Edwige Tamaklo 6 weeks
6 weeks
na watching sia
nti na watching sia ni 100 years eyepe
David
Ghana ha ye helicopters nya fe ni ekoto 4 ya to 2 ama president dia edane dane ni hu enu bi ni ekoto
David
on se nipa ne kofu kura ni eye ufu so ma on se ni salute no de because ade no o kwa wetima be o tiri ma o just ni eye ufu so bibia ma no akotrem
e wo ko ru betima wu
that's it no koso so display ama who say he has been well trained
na say Ghana ye soldier for so ye train o mo say
be train no o mo wi awo won nko train no we ni de ko sa train no we ye de ko sa to kwa we ye bibia no ho no mo de no e machi o ti ase na de ama na dane politics I was here nyina ka bie ni say we live in a global world
yes
Ghana ye ntimi nyi ye ho frame eno e na asemo ba ye chechiremu a ye nuanom nte ase na da bia mo de politics esimoni so na mo kansem akese de ni ho o ti ase
not ase
ene world market price ahead
peja
peja ko he entimi nko ba bia o.
And I'm so grandma. I said this week, grandma, who say your filling stations na to mu kakra de. Queens kakra.
To mu a.
Na girl ye petrol liter 10.2 24. Na 24 and I got 10.46. Mebwa. Asata no pay I got 10.46.
Because you see don Mahama buy and near me ko yi. It is a world market price na aba form. Ana enunti na enjoy.
Oh, now world market price above from na dollar no so
cedi nenya strength asema mi nuate a wo kan nyina ne say there's a magic being performed by this current government. And so irrespective of the ebekos wo aman say any ho nyina there's magic bi a Mahama ye a ya to ni din aban papa aba etidi entina ebi kwansi bi ebekọ ho dabi and say sequence bia etimi ba and say one city bia beka ho now let us continue to enjoy and your world market price asem because now no ye can say Russia and Ukraine for entokwa no ye nuanom say bomb na ye to Ukraine ni one Russia Ghana ha na Middle East so de ye chembo bia to say Middle East no ewiase achi baby we nimu pa on say ko classroom a e o mo tie akire o pa e ho no ewo
Middle East for no
ho no
oh there is omo the omo kra de be can say omo the center of the
me ka baby a Ghana ye
omo border Africa omo border Europe omo border
me ka baby a yen
baby a Ghana ye wo okay African there
Middle yen fifi ana middle ka ho
compared to baby a
Ghana wo
yes
Africa map no so okay yes to baby
what you say enti wo mu ade o mu ye no
middle ye kentampo Ghana middle ye kentampo
what dey can say
Matthias say
now me yen hwe na yen tutu niema yi rather than say ye be ye say de ekoso obi ma so nti no e na e affect ye yaka say dollar e be ko form a anase bibia na ebenya a stable economic way ya anase indicators ni begina yi ya eye export against import what you say what wo exportations so now you can say enema friend say we import what you say enema we import ba o ma mu no what so now ma we export to kosra eboa ma unya more foreign exchange
no credit you go school sana yesian
sa pepepe but say mri ya Joma ama ba ye hu say ye exports akosro and import aba from and am enya we bia o te the American as
Matthias say cheche mi mu
oh say ma
dollar no
basic no and can normally no you say prices anyone when nyina be confirm na dollar stabilization e be cost wa exports are echo
yes
ye money no so
nine
say ne be boost local currency
yes any no
na dia ye import no
ye kradia ba Ghana no
e so mra from
no correct
e do ba ye e dia ne wa ya e be ma normal stability na ba mimi hu sa but watima ye magic ama sesi adole obi age atum say about 10 point something me boa
Bank of Ghana rate but Bank of Ghana rate the 10 point something now as called black market and 11
it you do 11 it quite of us so yes how magic no and so it should be sustained
into onya magic and fa only the base Israel and Iran for ntem no sa magic na anto aso
eno ne catch
only excuse
eno na make ye baumia asem o kai ne say if the fundamentals are weaker
the exchange rate will expose you
eno na da bia hwe say make sure say fundamentals no aye adwuma that is why MPP for a day one district one factory e bae say ne be ya local industries no e betima produce eniema e betima aye na aboa yen e bae all incentives are related to
dollar rate Bank of Ghana.
What you say?
10 points. Dollar near 10.7.
All right.
And pound near 14.3. And a euro no so 12.4.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's a near ma the incentives. Every companies in England. So where are we going to sustain the local industries now? Ebetime aboy. And I would say una uye magic in bibia. So media me feel say despite the because no in other countries no ain't me nya any effect way. Because ye magician no wo ye oda so what you say? What I so ti ho a wo de eniema pa ebre yen. What you say the okay? Niema ekoye bibia ekofom ni ade so adentina obeba beka say entokwa esi Israel for the and US ne Iran intemuti no ebema fuel akọ omba omunka nche say to ya revival to
yes state of the nation address president ka wan say to yes
oba ye was 1 million jobs aba so big problem
mate then the Paul Yandoh.
To me and sit that. A man so no madre. Some be attach it. Ntokwa bi as obi man so to your economy no. Because John Mahama is supreme leader.
Hey, Debbie. Because Ghana you need supreme leader.
Hey, a supreme leader.
Iran they was supreme.
So they make us compared to friends the number of seats here their man of parliament.
No, the party kuta majority in parliament.
2/3.
Yes.
Anna.
Yes.
So
absolute majority.
He's supreme. Your person wa yen ne obetima ye. What you say? Your person wa yen ne obetima ye. And anima em say wadi bi esa pretty good so. Emma wuntimi hu wo manfo no wo mu su a utimi tie. What did you can say? Because baby o titi ya ne ho tenu a wo huri boss ya office obia asem ye ntontwene no de na correct on the platform enche bia ne wo ho what I say now ka I quite remember you call one meeting was na omde we eba omde budget ba finance ministry the budget ebe kan
yes
communication
yes
there could be that time enye easy ni akosia no ma briefing it assemble come bisa omo say what you say and they were all amazed me bisa asem go bia is yo
omo fa normal
hey election here you didn't request for any additional funds amount for super perception says you can't shamu kwa ho na election here the jagum na mo sisai munya bibia ngum yenkwa no wieza akahwe enu ina to me it's as if say NDC victory no abona adrimu dam ema obi asem bia woka bia yenkwase asema no obenya krampa anke yenyina yempam yenkogu akire ho because yense fatase ekabie
oh debi
that's how it is. I'm telling you, and I'm not referring to him. One there's only one person here. That is how the NDC is seen now. Say, yeah, too about yeah, so we don't even qualify to even share ideas. And that the about to be no, a woman ya dear mom, yenja womuna don't baby omunye.
Thomas Mujaka do doma omo.
Minya, economic issues there, and ya dear that form, and that. Oba expectation de ma no eso
yeah
ana aban papa so ba eyetimamufuo no na yeka enye mu na muka me I'm not surprised what here wo huri boss because yenya ntia say every month bia no 20,000 eyetisika 200 million esu e constituency level munji na mundidi kwa munjindi osaba bande ne kaye. One TB.
20,000. Na more time na monye bi.
Me pacho enye di obi me say diamante no no. Eti aba papa no mo ka no. Sa na ekoso na ate u ba bi unya adwuma bia na bosome 20,000. Unkasa di open Ghana for. Ene o tiana o kan ye kasaboa eche ye mienka bi. Your mama buy. Minua, edian why? Aba papa ba, yenya yentisu bi aba. Enya firma yen. Ye ka say petrol aba from na ye $1 akọ yie no. Electricity akọ wie say. So one monitor social media this week
Yeah.
Edian e cost so. Me say state of the nation no. I mandatory say also ba. I say go to me back.
Oh, sir.
Idea was so bad. Share.
But yeah, not talk $1 ye economy no.
Share. Say was so bad. And yes, I go to me back.
I didn't yeah.
Nadia say papa ba no beka. The real state of the economy in the say. Mami awo you ba besia. Araba is abato konu. Oba wa ko school. Abeye judge. Yes. Oh, so this will go to Supreme Court. We so
obey Supreme Court
answer. Easy. Supreme Court will be any other call. Mami etme wura hobi. Ya. What is the state of mami no? And the mami ni Simon Sukrano. When you be a man etie nasem. Because ya yinedi as Chief Justice. Yes, say yinedi as judge. Obiti as who school. Now we are class prefect to class 6. Now you can say bibinti you and the school prefect, you know, and now class prefect in every summer. Yes, how you are different school more. Maybe so you are no.
It me, but it means a bonnet. Me, no
bonnet, but you bonnet no. Baku yasu abu obi anitie. Baku yasu ode ne ba etu kwan. Baku so no mo se se kra. Ayam yensa. Bako wabu anitie bako wade ne ba tu kwan ena bako so yes saying
procurement breaches.
Yeah, procurement breaches by no man no. Is
Transfer
yes.
Now the chief friend say Chief Justice Entimin transfer obi a. And the number of transfers and calls. What you say? What you find the ban tu kwan. Committee ya omu nyina ya ade no ya se maame na hwe nanim abu na ndiche nti no eche se ye de ayinadi
obuwa niche
oh nya de ode no ekoye petition no o ti ase we ya sema ye di gina so edi yi obi adi
and state of the nation
tie akosi sai because maame ne se mo di Chief Justice na ne judge susu de kwan ya fa so ye judge no enye right. What you say na ye kana say? I'm an entitlement nyina no. Mafa. Babesia ohun de ni state any say ma o mekire mu nkire ye. Ene LGBTQ+ wan. In simple terms, eye turumudie asem. Akowie say. Akowie o mekire mu nkire Ghana for say LGBT sam na mo de ye Ghana akofo ado ho basa de say obia no say on person obesan ene de obesan na nkasa ba ubisa no a yesi enko kire mu nkire den nursery for ye de akɔhye nkwala buku mu kra say wo mu nsua meboa also hemanu
ba o masesa no omo say an error ne ba
education no masesa no
education minister
me say omo di komu enom anaye de di komu
Mona mu de komu
me pa cho me bisa wase mu zo kasa me yedi ye de komu anom ba ye mu da ta di komu
so book no was prepared by the previous minister.
Find the castle. Who is Antonio? Can cry now? Me tie me come from a party. How would you can cry now?
Paul no cry na making.
And me come to nya di komu. The current administration and di komu.
By the case minister be say omaji atum. Oma ye frame.
Enti omo na di komu no ma ye frame nya sa. Enti omo ma state. Ya sign bill now. Yeah, they call it say yes, sign no, yeah, sign because number of people are almost prepared by the concept. Bill, no, they are still in Parliament. Baby, on that's all any speaker.
Say bill na saba back to Parliament.
Omo ye mo den.
Omo ye ho adwuma.
Debi. Omo ye anasi ya ye. Etianu state no me hu because asofo nyina ko bisa ne ho asem. Meboa.
Yeah, mekai.
Of which me no me anu so yenum say ade enu state na ko wie say.
Yeah, mekai Catholic Bishop Conference e call no bisa ne ho asem.
De to so.
Yeah.
On my no galam say. Akọ wie say. Ye ka kire ye say akofo ado aban. Bibi omo friend no stability me ko na me nti bi da.
Yeah, stability.
14,000. And then, Supreme Leader Abba Papa, or two galam say no. The same stability no, and drew 94,000.
Hey.
What did I make another? What they said stability no, and drew 94,000.
Oh,
to the extent they said, yes, Gary say grano, heavy metals womb.
Gary.
And also na yan kwalai edi was secondary school.
Ene se ne go be ya idi go be ya wu.
Baby adru no. Now bisa pathologist for no crowd mugu confirmation no crowd dia.
Mo chiri man for no.
Exactly. And some mo kanu anu thing.
Ni
Na gynecologist for no crowd dia. Enyom no mka kire ye se obi be wo na nafu edu na so enkro na ni ne hwene edu ne hwan wonte sasem no.
Yeah, ka economy asem.
Before me tisai.
No state of the
Mesro.
Yeah, ko economy ho asem. Obetna otibi ka economy ba.
Mesro.
Me pacho. Ako wie say. And the original minister, ya accusing no.
Anye o court nipa no kan no kra no abechi asem say abechi asan
nipa no oye the two series no kasa ni own deputy liaison officer your friend Samuel Nso o see okwachi galam say yasibi our mining site odu ya no na ya frame ya bechi wonu mbom. Because that site, it belongs to Captain Jabari, National Security Coordinator.
I know the mini dance. Mini dance.
For our dance,
Martin. Mini dance.
On one
mini dance. Oh, can I mean now?
Jabari, no so can say yes, Atuma NDC constituency chairman, ultimate the National Security Operatives.
Captain Jabari Kanda Bay.
Oh, 1 week ago.
Sir,
So, you know, Muntu.
Your friend is saying, Extra TV.
Achumakwa.
We are sending when you know,
Mate.
I will not sit here and lie.
And then the true state of the nation.
What may catch now?
And the state of the nation.
They are involved. Okwa our win constituency. You see MP or Parliament. What should you them? Your friend Oscar Lab.
With there before, with there. Many others.
No, we are press. I don't mean
I chum we did that day.
I jump. I time and now one time.
So now we
and class state of the nation. No, Oscar Lab in your channel. What's the state? Jamaican say NDC third vice chairman. You friend a banga. Or to be.
see you inviting.
Of NDC, I mean, or to be. What is the status?
You invite him.
Because he's saying, so what is the state? And only state of the nation not talking about. Now let me come to employment. Oh my papa announcer or my penny papa no. What chere any pa yeah for woman because who figures, who economic figures. So what take dollars sooner a crown some dia. Omo munya adwuma so say o say crowd. Now say what for nyuma 1 million. Nipa nya 1 million. Yes yi biadi. Yakum dwafo didwa. Maybe so as
Debbie.
We should be happy for you as a president. His Excellency said, what you for nyuma and I say Ghana for 1 million. So munya jwanyasa, yemwe some share man your mama. Yes, it's here na dia chiria. You see Ghana for be and a raffle.
Debbie.
They move 541 there. Coffee.
Process.
Now process in here.
Now qualifications.
Me part idea
if you want to positions and no qualifications krano emiti.
Me there be me case asem we. Yet na ha ama Musa dan kwa be ka kire ye say. MPP for as MPP as a political party. Ye tout ye ho crack for party. You see the highest person of whom obi a we secondary school me ba.
Mo delegate no.
One say asem.
Mete.
Empire is here, ya cratching for MPP, ya cratching for party. The delegate near BBI is embodiment of the party. No? The highest person here, secondary school.
You walk school, Kesepa.
Secondary school, ya dear to me. Na NDC for one so ye from mole. One more dear, Sasabe at the Ameboa. It is Sawa Million, Sasabe for no farm. So you can use qualification.
Matthias,
it is what Trump catch them say qualification and provide say be granted so MPP for. Shayempo. Who dey tell Shayempo, you say you need qualification. And 1 million for no. One more the certificate in a buy. Can you make to NDC for certificate? Papa was a computer. Meaning sending na no send papa any friend computer and there. Friend saying
Rashid Tanko computer.
Nina nana friend computer and answer no offer.
Ni deeper.
The computer na get the barrier sit that bay. I want to the most say where your computer. What's your doctor? G-Tech for challenge no. What you say? Mamia or yet deputy health minister or friend say Ghana high. MP. Also a professor. G-Tech for challenge no. So look at them. Etimo no qualification no. More problem. And as answer will say, one why most of your doctor, one why more in so about qualification, don't go there.
Okay.
That is my justification. Don't go there. Find my basis to say, you are muddy. Ghana ni
Coco no.
Me bahu. Ghana ni sakwana no bia eye. Omampani ya tu abani you are. For ye nyina so ma. Even though Paul ebe criticize so. But Omampani me ya wo dia prekope. Also Bob me wo bai. I say my sweetie mo do me. What you say? Just that NDC for what you want to what to be soon ye. I may swap on that because any man go ye.
All right, so that is it. Inti medical catch us a Yandoh dear. Opportune baby as all kinds of ma. No, or your political joker. Your cast of politics ubi a joker, and as ubi cracky jokes. I think it's Yandoh. He is such because in same be na a serious issue. Yeah, Ghana, yeah, dealing with it in a very, in a serious way. No, we say na Yandoh at the Cotton TV radio so. Na afi wayeno sebi wayeno very, very, very funny. These are the people MPP. Say Ghana for mutu ababo mwa. They are come to rule this country. They are not serious. These are the people. Omayo Omajun so mudi Bomiechi. Bomia, as soon as Bomia grabs power, then they will come in their full numbers to come and joke with Ghanaians. These are the people. Omunyo Omajun say, Ombe Mikisho se Ghana ebi progressing. Nambu, Omukase bi Omujun Omo tribe. Omo busunya, Omo party. Eni Omo yefunu ehun. You don't think about the nation. You don't think about Ghana. You don't think about the future generation. They only think about themselves. Young corner young koti Abraham Amaliba DVLA. I think so more year director safety. Yeah. I think say drivers and safety BBB mo fanchebe. Abraham Amaliba one of the legal saying legal counsel at the MPP. Sorry, NDC among you na owura wei na no ate papaapa wakyerɛ adwen bi de afa Ghana yɛ independence ho and how MPP didn't help Ghanaians in building the Independence Day and even Kwame Nkrumah yɛ n'adwen so bɛgye independence MPP for nkurɔfoɔ from UP sabotage yɛ abɛduru saa mbere ɔne ɛyɛ owura Ebo Buckman and so a deputy communications director de ma a United Party. Yɛnkɔtie nsɛm bi ɛkɔba ɛbɛtoa so de ama mɛsrɛ so do comment bɛto na wa like na wa share na foforo ɛnyɛ bi ahwɛ.
You're making some notes from it early on.
This is a book titled Fight Back, a response to anti-Nkrumah provocations. So this book tries to lay the facts bare and to ensure that we are not misled by some right-wing politicians in this country who think that the overthrow of Nkrumah was something good for this country. Indeed, it is evident that the problems we are facing today was because of the rude overthrow of Nkrumah. And I agree with Professor Lumumba, who says that when he said that collectively as Ghanaians, we are to be blamed for the underdevelopment of this country. And so this book tries to put the record straight and let us know that what the right-wing people are saying is not true. For instance, they say that the colonial masters left Nkrumah with money. And the fact is that no colonial master is a benefactor who will leave you with money. Indeed, we saw what they did to Guinea when France had to strip off even everything.
Guinea and Mali.
Guinea and Mali, yeah. So that those lies cannot be allowed to stand. But you see, I am not one of those who will say that our independence has not brought in anything. No, I'm not one. Because I believe strongly that the fact that you have freedom and you are not being restrained and you are not being discriminated at and you can go about your activities in itself, there's no amount of money that can be equated to that. The freedom. Do you know that where we are now, is it here? Rich, eh? When it was 6 o'clock, the blacks, that's how Nima came about. The blacks would have to move back to Nima. They couldn't roam about in a rich area. You know that? That was how bad it was. But today, at least, if you are hungry from Nima, you can roam about. You get a mango tree somewhere there, you can pluck and eat. That's what freedom does. So, I will not say that our independence has brought us nothing. In fact, the fact that Ghana's independence was seen as a symbol for African freedom alone is enough. You know, when we gain independence, it now opened the floodgates for some African countries to also get their independence. Ghana was seen as a mecca for freedom fighters. You know that place here, somewhere, where is this? The International Students Hostel, there was some, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, where the NPP sold to itself, and then Atta Mills had to come and take it back. When they cut it into pieces, that land, they cut it into pieces. They cut it into pieces. That land was where people like Mugabe came to learn and then go back to get freedom for his country. So I will not say it is all bad. I will say that, yes, we could have done more, but why are we talking about we could have done more today? Because you truncated somebody who had a very big vision. Last 2 weeks, I was at the Job 600 Parliament House, and I looked at the whole thing and I said, look, this is Nkrumah who built this thing. They didn't know that one day we'll have need for this bill. I'm sure when it was built, they were saying that it was too huge. But see what he has done. See where we are relying on. Most of the things today that as a country we are relying on are heavily on what Nkrumah did. Take off all those things, take Nkrumah's projects away, and then we'll be bare. No. So, on any day, I would attribute our failure to be like the Singapores, the Malaysians, because of the foolish truncation of Nkrumah's regime. You know, when the man was speaking, the deputy for
NACOC.
Narcotic Control Board was speaking. He spoke in context. Is it not true that a year or 2 years ago, this country was rated a junk economy? Maybe when I say junk, people don't know. Baller. We were rated that way. And if your condition today, according to him, is worse off, how was your condition in that junk economy? How was it? If your condition today is bad, but how would that condition be when the country was rated junk? That's how you look at it. And that's the comparison he was doing. Was it not also true that Nana Akufo-Addo told all of us that the next government would take us out of the economic mess? Between you and Nana Akufo-Addo, when the two of you speak, whom should we listen to? You are nowhere. Yeah? Chiba said that somebody came to ask him for his debt. He told the person that, you see, if debts were like shadows on the wall, he who came to ask him this morning of his debt, his shadow would have been a short one. There are more people he owes. There are tall people he owes. So, if Akufo-Addo speaks and says that the next government will come and take us out of the economy, who are you to say that your economy was better than this one? So he spoke in context, and we all agree that we are coming out of an economy which cannot be described as good for this country. It was this same economy that we were in when Akufo-Addo was begging the armed forces not to stage a coup d'etat, because there were some Ghanaians who were insulting the armed forces of being of idling by when the economy was bad, and they should have taken over power. And so, for me, yes, could we have done more? Yes, we can do more. But the fact that we are in control of our resources, the fact that we are in control of our economy is enough to say that I am happy. But moving forward, we need to do more to ensure that the benefits of the independence or the freedom touches everybody. Yeah.
Ebo, some reaction to any of the comments so far?
Yeah, I think he made mention of Nkrumah's famous quote that a black man is capable of managing his own affairs. I think if Nkrumah were to be here today, he would say now the black man is capable of mismanaging his own affairs. Because if you look at how we've mismanaged this country, for example, I mean, some of the things we've done to this country, some of the decisions we've taken in respect of management of our resources were very bad. And Ishak will agree with me. Nobody will be happy to see a president sinking $97 million into a hole. I mean, this is a pure case of mismanagement. So, yes, we still have a long way to go. But I think if we don't change the way we do things, then we shouldn't expect to have any difference in terms of development. The only way we can move forward is to be hard on ourselves. If you remain comfortable in this situation, if you feel comfortable in this situation, nothing will change. But if you become hard on ourselves and say that we started with country A, country B, they've done much. You see, so Malaysia came to copy us at a point. Can't you go and copy them? No, can't we copy Singapore? I mean, I've said it is only WASI or these exams. It's only exams that you can copy. That will be caught when you copy. But copying from those who have made it should be easy for us.
I mean, there's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. Just go and copy the way they do their things. If Malaysia has done it successfully, if Singapore has done it successfully, what stops us from copying from them? The way, because we started with them. Almost the same, yeah. Malaysia will be maybe 97 or 90, 70, 67 or 65. But, I mean, look at where they are. That's what I'm saying, that, you see, even in respect of our economy, let's be honest with ourselves. After 69 years, how, or in the period of 69 years, how much have you transformed Ghana's economy? Every year we talk about Georgesburg economy, and that we need to move away from that economy. For 69 years, our economy can still be described as Georgesburg economy. Yeah. So it means we've not done much in terms of transformation, in terms of things we need to do to make life better for our people. If we make reference to the last 8 years of Nana Akufo-Addo, I know you'll be very uncomfortable to hear that, but the reality is that you're uncomfortable. The reality is that the last 8 years was horrible. At a point, Ghana's economy became an orphan. You remember? Because Dr. Bawumia abandoned the economy, and Nana disowned the economy. Kenofrata siphoned, put a straw in the economy, and siphoned, sucked the blood of the economy. So the economy became anemic and orphan. Are you getting it? So we can't continue mismanaging our economy the way we've been doing and expect to develop as a nation. And also, we can't allow corruption to thrive and expect to develop. Corruption and development cannot coexist. If you want to develop, let's see how we can kill or we can reduce corruption to the barest minimum. Because the system that we are using is not the kind of system that will allow us to develop. So long as corruption has some wings, it flies all over the place because the politician allows it, because the politician is the beneficiary of corruption. Once we fight corruption successfully, I can tell you, from class 1 to university can even be free in this country. Because we have what it takes in terms of resources, in terms of natural resources, in terms of human resources. We have what it takes to develop this nation. But the way we have mismanaged our own affairs over the years is what has brought us here. And let me say this. The issue of rule of law, let me land on this one, then others will come in. The issue of rule of law, I don't know if this is true. I hear there was a young man who went into one of our forest reserves to hunt. He went there for hunting.
Yes.
And he was arrested.
I've seen that story.
He's been jailed 3 years.
Yes, I've seen that story.
Somebody going to kill maybe a deer or antelope in a forest reserve has been given 3 years. Politicians who took excavators, according to Erastus Asaredonko, at the time they said nobody should enter a forest reserve. The size of the forest reserve, one of them that was destroyed, the size of one of the forest reserve that was destroyed was like Kumasi. People who did that are walking freely. Somebody goes into a forest reserve to hunt and he's been jailed 3 years. And we talk about issue of equality before the law. What kind of rule of law is this? What kind of democracy is this? That democracy that allows the politician to have free day to do the things they want to do, to destroy our forest. Those who destroy they don't only destroy the forest, they destroy the forest, they destroy the soil, they destroy the water bodies. They are walking freely. But somebody just went into maybe he needed 1 or 2 for his soup, or maybe to make some living out of it. 3 years. So how do we do this to ourselves and expect to develop as a nation? Look at a judge will jail somebody 15 years. Another judge, so everything was good, but I will reduce it to 1 year. What kind of rule of law is this? So if you want to make progress, let's look at our democracy. Let's look at the issue of rule of law again and see how we can make things better as a people. We can't continue to do the same thing and expect to have a different result. The economy, we need to restructure this economy. I believe that this economy is, once again, very susceptible to external shocks. Now, we are being confronted with 2 situations. Global commodity prices in terms of cocoa has gone down. Look at what is happening in the Middle East. Now, we are not sure. People are saying that it won't last, but we don't have a dog in that fight, so we don't determine how long it's going to be. But the point is that how do we position ourselves? Because you see, external shocks come in many forms. We have war, we have pandemic, we have global prices going down, fluctuating. We have many others. But how do we position ourselves in such a way that in times of trouble, whether it comes in the form of war or prices coming down, global prices coming down, how do we position ourselves to survive? I believe that one of the things we need to do, and this one, I want to appeal to this government to consider this. This is very serious. And it should be a national policy, not a political party's policy. I believe that I call it the four Fs. I call it the four Fs buffers, or the 4Fs buffer. First, you need to have fiscal buffer as a nation, very solid one. We need to create one and protect it. I mean, how do we have how do we establish stabilization funds that can be protected, that politicians cannot easily, dip their fingers into or finger into and misuse? You need to have forex buffer. I'm talking about forex buffer that will last about 3 months, not buffers that are only some few. Let's go to buffers that will last for a long time, a very long time, and let's have food buffers, 3 month food buffers, because you never know. Then the last one is fuel buffers. If you're going to have fuel buffer that will last 3 months, like what happened, will be cool. But the situation where any slight, change or any small thing that happens externally, then this economy is thrown into a state of disequilibrium. I think we need to do more as a nation. By the time we get to 70, we don't have to approach
just 70. A year away.
Just a year away. By the time we get to 70, we should look back and say we are charting a new path for this country, and that things are being done differently. We can't continue to do the same things we've done. Political parties, see what is even interesting is that NPP is regrouping to come back to power. This is the kind of democracy we have. See the way you people came to destroy Ghana. Now they want to come back again.
I must respond to this challenge.
But I'm telling you facts.
Okay.
AB said something which was quite significant. The father and Akufo-Addo himself admitted. That's what I'm saying. He disowned the economy. He said, what is left? I can't do anything about it. My successor will come and fix it. Only what is broken is fixed, isn't it? So the point I'm making is that we can't continue to play this MPP, NDC. We don't have to expect any development as a people. But if we can change the way we do things, and the electorate also, the electorate, please, the politicians, watch them. Don't just change your mind because of the things they say. Look at the things they do rather than the things they say. Because what they say should speak louder, or what they do should speak louder to you than what they say.
Okay. Those are live pictures from the Jubilee House, where very shortly we'll cross over for the independence celebration that is taking place there. I have Ishak with me in the studio, still a member of the New Patriotic Party. Ishak, reactions to some of the comments that have come, and
yes,
the final point I'll let you make will be on what should be the expectation of the government going on in the next 1 year.
Okay, thank you. I'll start with where we agree. I agree that there is nothing wrong with us copying from other people. If you look at the Chinese mantra for development, they say that it's only a fool who learns from their mistakes. For other people have made enough mistake for you to learn from. So sometimes, instead of them starting scratch, they build upon what somebody have already done. And look at how DeepSeek, I don't know whether you're following the technology news, DeepSeek is an AI company. The Americans have spent billions building their AI systems. It just used about 2 or 3 million and achieved similar one. And some people even said DeepSeek is even performing better. So yes, we can learn from other people, taking what they have already achieved as our base. So that one, I agree with you. We should copy, if possible, except in examination, as you excluded. But any other area that improve other people's life, we can copy from that. I'll come back to what he has said. I'll start from my friend Amaliba. Look, I am not the only one who feels worse off. The cocoa farmers, as you subtly admitted, they are worse off. They are worse off. What they used to get during the MPP time, it's not what they are getting here. They're worse off. And as you said, maybe because of the movement of commodity prices externally, but there was opportunity for government to hedge so that they will not be worse off. So we can't just push the blame to external factor that made them worse off. It is choices and decisions this government has made that has made them worse off.
I mean, but that's a familiar...
Let me come. The maize farmer in Wale Wale, Fumbisi, Bolaga, Chamale, Savannah region is worse off as we talk. The investment they have put into coming out with those products, a bag of maize is now worth 200. So it's not only Ishak is worse off. There are a lot of people who are worse off. Some of the teachers who have been laid off, they are worse off. So those ones are real. As to whether Akufo-Addo made some prediction or whatever, I'm not privy to those statements. But what I know is...
You didn't hear those statements?
2024 November, the then finance minister...
Statements?
No, I don't remember hearing those statements. But what I remember clearly is 2024 November, the then finance minister, Dr. Mohamed Amina Anta, made it very clear that the worst is over and that 2025 was going to be a record recovery that would achieve development. And that is only true because if you have a patient who is sick and you apply medicine, the prognosis is likely to be good. Otherwise, if it is worse off, then the patient dies off. And is it the first time we have been in that situation? No. You are now taunting President Mahama as a savior and the person who built the hope. And the question was, what happened at the end of his first term when he was a president? We inherited IMF program. The Ghanaian economy was on the meltdown. He went for IMF program. This is a fact you can check. The NPP, the then NPP government in 2016 inherited an IMF program. So this is not the first time we are having economic problems. And Ghana is not the first place to have experienced IMF problems. Okay. So this is not strange. But so for me, this one, if to assess the totality of from independence from 1957 to now, it's a collective failure, and the bulk of the blame can be placed on the NDC that have had the opportunity to govern this country more than any other political party. So you can't push the blame to someone at all.
Would that be an accurate statement? More than any political party?
Oh, yeah, they have governed more.
More than any political party?
I think so. I think they have governed more. I mean, if you add their years of dictatorship.
Yeah, but that's the point. Because the statement...
That wasn't NDC.
The statement you are making...
Of course, that's the foundation. The seed.
No, Ishak.
Yes, see. Look, President Muhammad said, remember our revolutionary past.
No, Ishak, listen to me. Ishak, listen to me. The statement you made was that more than any other political party.
Okay, so what I said is that, for me, when I said it, I thought we are together on the base. Because you've got the president reminding us that remember our revolutionary past. So you cannot subtract 1992 to 79 away. They have claimed it.
I was just commenting on the statement.
And that is their base.
More than any political party.
Okay, so my clarification was for you.
Yes, but the point about the reference to what the former president said, it was actually during the New Patriotic Party Superdelegates Congress on August 26, 2023. And he had been interviewed. He was sitting in the car. He had finished. He was leaving, and he was interviewed. And this is what he said. He said, "It's difficult. I'm the first to admit it. I have said it several times. But at the end of the day, I believe when the moment comes, Ghanaians will reflect on who best can get us out of this difficulty." So that's the statement that Ebo was making reference to. That.
Okay.
I mean, that's an admission that there were difficulties that he had basically, and this was at the time that about 1 year to the end of his tenure.
There were no difficulties. In fact, but we may at some point apologize. No, but we may at some point apologize for some of the mistakes.
This was 1 year. This was 1 year.
This one is even worse.
No, I said, but we may have apologized.
But this was 1 year. 1 year to the end of his tenure, and he had basically thrown his hands up in despair, saying that the next leader will take us out of the difficulty. This was in 2023.
Well, I mean, we were in economic difficulty. I mean, that one,
and nobody was the president.
No, if you are the president, you remember, so you are also alluding to it. You remember, we knew, if you look at the statement, when COVID-19 hit us, What did he say? He said we know how to bring economy back to life, but we didn't know how to bring human beings back to life.
Was wrong.
No, it wasn't wrong because he was just telling Ghanaians that he was going to prioritize human life. And that in prioritizing human life, it can affect our economy.
But he didn't know how to bring the economy back. That's why he admitted.
Anyways, Eiii, you've been quiet for a while. I'll give you the final word as we wrap up on this Independence Day conversation.
To know whether cocoa farmers are worse off today than under the Akufo-Addo administration is to look at how much of the amount we are giving them, how much bag of rice it can buy, how much bag of cement it can buy, and compare it to your time. That's how you do it. You don't just say that they are worse off. Today, when you take your salary, that amount of money can buy you more bags of rice than at your time. That's how we do that. That's how we do that comparison. You don't just say that you are worse off and expect everybody to believe. Has your salary reduced? The amount of money you receive as salary, how much can it buy you? Maybe a tin of how many tins of milk can it buy? That's how you do the comparison. It's just layman economists. But let me say this. This country has progressed anytime the NDC is in government. More than when the NPP is in government. Today, we are complaining about lack of beds in our hospitals. Ask the question, how many regional hospitals have they built? Before, ever since Kufuor to Akufo-Addo. They were busy pumping money into holes. That's the kind of governance we receive from them. Then you turn around and say, because NDC ruled so many years, MBDC should be faulted for that. Look at the things that each of us, when we came, what we did to this economy. That's how you look at it. So, where we are today is as a result of poor governance, largely on the part of the NPP, because when you come, you don't add on to it. When you come, you don't add on to it. You rather take away. To the extent that, for the first time, our finance minister prefers being in jail. Detention center. Yeah. He prefers to be in the detention center in the US than walking freely in Ghana. That's where we have gotten to. We have sunk so low that the mismanagement of this country by a finance minister has come to haunt him so much so that he himself doesn't even feel comfortable to be walking about in Ghana. He prefers to be in the cooler. And when I see the NPP, bravely making the assertion that they rule this country better than what we are seeing today, I tend to think that they are in a different land. They are in cuckoo's land. Because we all saw the governance of this country under them. And for them to be humble to accept that, yes, and I thought that those who come on TV would toe the line of their flag bearer, who apologize to the people of this country for poor management of this country. Then you come here and say, your own, what's the lady's name, who was in charge of the Common Fund? Natoshi said that she was restricted from sending money to the assemblies. Because under them, the assemblies were crying, Assemblies were saying the monies were not coming. And that the finance minister will not allow the money to go to the assemblies. And today, they are blaming her. She came out when they were going to have their... She came out. They were throwing tantrums at each other. Government appointees and their administration are spilling out the beans. What you can do is to be humble. Because what you are doing is insulting the sensibilities of Ghanaians when you sit here and make it look like it was all rosy under your regime. But I think that my conclusion is the fact that when we sit here, we are not the most intelligent. Those sitting at home are more intelligent. It's just that we have an opportunity to sit here and they can decipher what is bad and what is wrong.
Okay. Thank you very much, Eiii, and to all my colleagues around the table as well. That appears to be His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor. We'll get a closer shot on your screens now. Right.
Yes, na you were primary, no. Way back in primary, way back in DHS. Edru 6 match say ya ayana de papa. Ubebi sam se mega ede na man ye de. Ni nani se ye ko park so. Every district, every school biya bekwa ko share baby. Omabo sra pam pam na mu abonsra. No one match kama no mu de share omu district chief executive and as municipal chief executive in that municipality and district one. Since MPP better so yi a omu bo Ghana ka and then Mahama ba intimi nye sade because MPP for taking advantage and omu de start sika free Ghana omu timi twa sika twitwiri die said he could di Independence Day just one day per 1 day and okay do 24 hours about 6 hours 6 hours kwa menye sure from 7 to 1 na bibia to atwa no bia kɔ ne fie MPP fo timi schedule sika omutimi ya budget ai mu aduru no macha mamu in the name of 6 match it is ene oti umpatam na so unhu se nkwara aye bonsra unhu se ne omoko hie baabi unhu se saa ne ma na ekoso a ya de ba ko pɛ ene wo se bo wadwum ni na ne se MPP fo e de dani sika die ene ne dwom hama bae se sika no ebi ni ho ye bi odi Ghana inti 6 match no odo se ebedi but yen se sika wo ho te de MPP fo no moye na mo chama mo fie fo omo party fo omo asoro fo omo prafo no to fie di mo gas no John Mahama say yen ni se bio esan so man no we have a long way to go. I will say bo man no ho bra this modern Ghana yini hospital this modern Ghana yini what do you call it yini hospital base na hospital na nkasa kura ni bi de bede nyampa what you say akwan ye speed ramps keke na ekunkrofo mini minor things na hwere nkrofo nkwa ewukurum ha kamuja gu inti se di sika we ekoye independence embo minor. The only thing we have to do is to what put it in the what in the growth in the Ghana's development. I will say this Ghana kosomo Ghana grow from Ghana enyinimu can say about 6 to 5 hours bini akogina ba bini ya sesika na nkofo bi ma gibia go butom thinking say ya ye 6 match meanwhile na nko ba bia inti John Mahama what ba in this in this moment we reduce the cost of it by doing it at the Jubilee House to cut cost a good idea. I think say me kra da achi bi ni yenye sika yin kwan so so bebre. I was so minor and e develop I was say nya modern technology bit nya combat various dangers to humanity, various harms to humanity. No minor timi gina na so other than say be invest o 6 match be we chi ni nipa enti saa eno so esi etie honom meso so document beton tie ne se medi kan kan no ene Ghana da moka say 69th birthday of Ghana what you say eji Ghana si ho no emfie aduosia enkono enie enti mumai na yemo mpaipa from leaders in from Ghana enti enko enim makraw bye bye.